Hey folks, it's Saffron. I'm just recording a quick little intro before my decluttering videos. I thought I was going to have a few shorter clips I could edit together into one video, but some of them ended up way longer than I expected, so I'm going to make it a little series. So here is part one for you. Hey folks, it is Saffron, and today I'm going to go through showing off my makeup collection and decluttering a little bit. So I'm going to start with what are basically my everyday filming on camera makeup. And I keep that in this shoebox and this C palette. So in here we have a lot of stuff. I'm going to dump it all out and then put it back in. Okay, so we have the BH Cosmetics Wild and Radiant Illuminating and Bronzing Palette. And right now I'm using this one. And it's a nice pinkish highlighter, which is great for my very fair, sort of pinkish skin. Next item, I'm actually going to pass this along to someone else. This is the e.l.f. contour palette, and these shades just aren't quite right for me. This highlighter is too yellow. This is basically my skin color, so it doesn't do a very good job of highlighting. That bronzer is too dark, and that bronzer is okay, but I have to really work with it. So that I'm going to give away to someone. Next item that I have in here is just my e.l.f. brush cleaning wipes. Those are nice if I need to actually clean my brushes off for, you know, a quick little color change. Next item that I'm just going to throw this away because it is old. This is the Ulta Pore Correction Concentrate. It did work when I first got it, but it is a couple years old now. It's just not having any effect anymore, so I'm gonna throw that away. Our next item that I love, this is the Ulta Flawless Prime. It's a green tinting primer, and it's wonderful for my skin. Another item that I sometimes use, this is Ben Nye's Character Base in Witch. Sometimes my allergies give me a lot of redness in my skin that I actually find that the Flawless Prime doesn't even fully counter, and this will counteract it completely. I've got a kitty who wants attention. Alright, next I have the Physicians Formula BB Concealer, or Super BB Concealer, sorry. And while this is a good collection, the concealer is not quite the right color for me, and it's about a year old and it's just not working anymore. So I'm going to get rid of that. Alright, next we have my Julep blush, and this is the color Peach Bellini. It's actually much, it's sort of a rosy pink and actually quite good on me. I didn't think it would be when I first got it. Next we have the Physicians Formula Arganwear BB Cream, and this is the shade Light, which in person this is actually a little too dark for me even, but on camera it's really hard to tell, so it works fine for that. And as you can see, I'm nearly done with it. This is actually incredible for my skin. I have very dry, acne-prone skin, and this is magical for me. I've actually slept in it, and I woke up with less blemishes the next day, so I don't know how that works, but it did. I also have Physicians Formula, their Mineral Wear Powder, and in Translucent Light. And this is just a good light powder. Nothing overly wonderful or terrible about it. It's a powder. My next item, this is another favorite, the e.l.f. Under Eye Primer. This actually is a slightly pink tinted primer, and it works wonderfully to help counteract my under eye circles. It's wonderful for very fair skin tones to do that with. My next item, I'm going to say I have a lot of e.l.f. items. This is, oh, what's it called? I don't know. The little shimmer stick thing. This is in Lilac Petal, and that's actually a wonderful blush shade for me if I'm going with a cream blush instead of the Julep powder. I also have their Shimmering Facial Whip in Spotlight, and this is a nice highlighter for me. I'm very, very pale, so a pure white highlighter works quite well on me. My next item, I have Tarte Light Camera Flashes, and this is a travel size. I got a little kit of some of their items in travel sizes, and this is wonderful. I'm probably going to buy this in full size when I use it up. I also have the Maybelline Brow Drama, and it doesn't say on here what shade this is. I believe this is soft brown. I got this from Influenster. They actually let me choose 2 colors, so I got the soft brown and the auburn, and both look quite good on me. I do wish it had a smaller tip because it's very thick, and once I start wearing down the point, that's going to be annoying. I can probably sharpen it because I do have a sharpener, but I wish it was a skinnier product because it's very thick, and eyebrows are somewhere where you need precision. But it does do its job very well. It fills in your brows, it keeps them in place, and it's great. I did get that for free for reviewing it, so that's my disclaimer. My next item, I'm going to get rid of this. It doesn't even say on it what it is, but I had got an Ulta primer set, and this is the lip primer, and it just does not work very well for me. It's very waxy, and it makes my lipstick kind of tacky, and it just makes my lips stick together a little bit. I don't like that, so that's going bye-bye. Next, you can see I have used this a lot. This is the NYX lip liner in Hot Red, and I wear a lot of red lipstick, and it works wonderfully with it. I also have my little sample of Bye Bye Under Eye, which I actually use this not on my under eyes. It's too thick for me personally to use for under eye concealer, but I use it on my chin for my acne, and I'm very acne prone, especially in the chin, and this is perfect for that. So that's what that gets used for. And I have an Ulta under eye primer, or not under eye primer, eyeshadow primer. And this came in the same kit with the lipstick primer, I believe. And this tube has lasted me a year and a half, and there's still product in it, and I'm still able to use it. And it's a wonderful primer. As long as you don't sleep in it. Nothing's going to stop your eyeshadow from creasing if you sleep in it. At least not for me. I also have, this is a glitter top coat from Ulta, and that was one of their samples where if you spent $19.50 in Ulta products, you got a bag of samples. And this is in the shade Gold Digger. And it's just a light gold that is quite nice to dust over top of your eyeshadow. I use it also to highlight, not to highlight, but I dust a little bit of it over my under eye area if my circles are particularly bad, and that helps to hide them. Alright, my final item in here is my Julep Gel Eye Glider in Smoky Plum. I love Julep's eyeliners. I have a lot of trouble getting eyeliners to cooperate on my waterline and to stay on my waterline, and juleps work very well for me. The last items are just my eyeshadow brushes, because I have too many brushes, so I just keep the brushes I actually use in there. In my Z palette, I have a bunch of random eyeshadows that I had compressed down to fit into here. Each of these little mosaic looking sections was a little 5 eyeshadow palette. Actually, they were 10 eyeshadow palettes, because it was these were each one. These were Marquin's items, so they're, you know, very cheap drugstore shadows, but they are pretty good. And I just depotted them into here because their packaging was broken and I would rather just have them somewhere nicer. All of these round ones down at the bottom are Ulta sample shadows that I had used up part of the little quad they were in, so I depotted them into here, and then those will get used up and tossed. This olive one is, that was a Clinique single, and I just put that in here because the packaging was so bulky. This is a CoverGirl quad that, again, it was just a bulkier packaging, and I figured putting multiple bulky packagings into this Z palette was just sleeker and easier. This was a Claire's single, or icing by Claire's technically, and again, just making it more sleek, less bulk, fewer things in my makeup storage collection. So that is that. That is my typical, these are the eyeshadows I pull from when I am filming or otherwise on camera because they look good for that. Alright, next we're going through what is my everyday office makeup. And I keep that separately from my filming makeup because it's a different purpose. And this is just a bag that I got from Ulta that had samples in it. You know, it was one of those online orders you get samples with a $50 purchase or something like that. And I'm not actually getting rid of any of these, I'm just showing them to you. Everything in here I use. So I have the Aveeno Positively Radiant Daily Moisturizer, and this is actually mixed with the St. Ives Collagen Elastin because the Aveeno was a little too thick for my skin. So mixing it with the St. Ives made it perfect. I also have my Body Shop, a Vitamin E eye cream. I've used this forever and I love it. Next up is the e.l.f. Poreless Face Prime. This is lovely. It makes my skin feel wonderful. And then I use the e.l.f. BB cream, and this is Fair, whatever the lightest shade is. This is a good BB cream. It has moderate BB cream coverage, and it does stay on all day, especially with the primer. And again, it does feel nice on my skin, which is important because my skin is so dry. Then I have this little Ulta quad, and currently I'm using this shade as an all over, the olive as the crease, and then the light green on the lid. Then I have, this is an Ulta blush and bronzer duo, but I actually just use this as a bronzer because the blush is so dark for me that, yeah, that I could not use that as a blush. Then for blush, I have my another e.l.f. shimmer stick, and this is in Persimmon, and this is just a little lighter than the other one, and again, it does make a nice blush for me. I have the e.l.f. Shadow Lock Eyelid Primer in Champagne. That works quite well, does its job. And here I have another Tarte mascara. And this is Lights Camera Lashes. This one I love as well and will probably purchase full size at some point. I'm very glad I got the sample of it. Brushes, brushes, brushes. And here is my other Maybelline Brow Drama. This is the Auburn. Again, wish it was thinner. Does its job. And both colors work quite well with me because the ends of my hair are dyed auburn, but my roots are brown, so I can sort of go with either color, and it doesn't matter. Then I have, this is the Neutrogena, what are you called? It's Skin Clearing Blemish something or other concealer. It does its job, it's a concealer. Covers acne, helps get rid of it. And I have another, whoa, trying to get away from me. This is the Julep Eye Glider in Rich Brown. And I've actually gone through at least one of these already because I use brown eyeliner so much. And finally, I have my NYX Matte Finishing Spray. Love it. I use the dewy when I'm filming, and then I use the matte for in person because I don't, for the office job, I don't wear any powders really on my face, so it's sort of, so I do a more dewy look makeup, but then I do the matte setting powder, so it sort of evens itself out and just is skin. So that is what I wear on my face to the office.